Right now, inside your body, there's a battle raging. Seriously. It's this constant, dynamic war between invasion and defense, order and chaos. And this isn't some sci fi movie plot. It's what's happening every single day as your body fights to keep you healthy. So let's arm ourselves with a little knowledge, right? We're going to explore this invisible war, because understanding the fight, well, that's the first step to winning. So, let me just ask you something. Are you really healthy? It sounds like a simple question, right? But your answer probably changes depending on what health actually means to you. Is it just not being sick? Or is there more to it? Well, if we dig a little deeper, the picture gets a whole lot bigger. Turns out, health isn't just about not having a disease. It's a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. When you think about it like that, this internal battle we're talking about, it's not just for survival. It's for our ability to actually thrive. Okay, so to really get a grip on this fight, we need a battle plan. First up, we're going to scout the enemy, the invaders. Then we'll check in on our own troops, your body's amazing defense force. We'll also get into what happens with friendly fire, when our own cells rebel. And finally, we'll talk strategy, how our choices and a little prevention can totally turn the tide. All right, let's kick things off with the bad guys. Every single day, your body is under assault from all kinds of external threats just trying to break through your defenses. And these troublemakers? They have an official name, pathogens. It's pretty simple, really. A pathogen is just any organism that can cause disease. They're basically the microscopic enemies in our daily war for well-being. And just look at the sheer variety of these invaders. We're not talking about one single army here. This is a whole collection of different forces, and each one has its own way of attacking. You've got viruses, which are basically just tiny bits of genetic code. Then there are bacteria, like salmonella, fungi, yep, like the kind that causes ringworm. And it doesn't stop there. We've even got larger threats, like the protozoa that cause malaria, or even parasitic worms. It's a real rogues gallery of microscopic bad guys. But hey, for every villain, there's gotta be a hero, right? And in our story, the hero is your immune system. It's this incredibly sophisticated, super powerful defense force that's on the job 24/7. The power of this system? We call it immunity. It's just your body's overall ability to fight off all those pathogens we just met. Think of it as your own personal internal army. Now, this army has two main branches. First, you've got your innate immunity. The best way to think about this is like your castle walls and your frontline guards. It's the first line of defense, it's not picky about who it fights, and it's ready to go from the moment you're born. Then you have your acquired immunity. These are your elite special forces. They are super specific, they actually learn from past battles, and when they attack, they are seriously effective. And that brings us to the absolute superpower of your acquired immune system, memory. See, when it defeats a pathogen, it remembers it. So if that same enemy dares to show its face again, the response is lightning fast and incredibly powerful. This is exactly why you usually only get something like chickenpox once. But not all threats come from the outside. What happens when the call is coming from inside the house? Yeah, sometimes the battle for health is more like a civil war, where our very own cells turn against us. It really all comes down to teamwork. Your normal cells, they're total team players. They keep their growth in check and they respect their neighbor's personal space. It's a thing called contact inhibition. Basically, when they touch another cell, they stop growing. But cancer cells, they've lost that. They just ignore all the rules, grow completely out of control, and pile on top of each other, forming this chaotic mess. And this total loss of control leads to the single most feared property of cancer, metastasis. This is when cancer cells break away, travel through the bloodstream like fugitives on the run, and start new tumors in totally different parts of the body. And that ability to spread, that's what makes this disease so incredibly dangerous. And you know what? It's not just our regular cells that can rebel. Sometimes our own elite defense force, our immune system, makes a terrible, terrible mistake. With autoimmune diseases, the system gets confused and starts attacking the body's own healthy cells. It literally mistakes friend for foe. Rheumatoid arthritis is a perfect and tragic example of this kind of friendly fire. Okay, so this brings us to a really crucial player in this whole battle, you. This fight isn't just happening at the cellular level. We are the commanders-in-chief here, and our daily choices can either send in reinforcements or they can actively sabotage our own defenses. A lot of the biggest health challenges we face today are what we call lifestyle diseases. And really, you don't catch these from other people. They're often the direct result of our habits. Things like not getting enough exercise, poor eating habits, using tobacco, drinking too much. All these choices, they slowly but surely weaken our body's defenses from the inside out. So let's take a look at how just one specific choice can mess with our internal systems. Take this molecule, for example, a cannabinoid. When a chemical like this gets into your body, it doesn't just float on by. Oh no, it directly interacts with your core systems. And that can be for better or for worse. And the effects can be pretty significant. By latching onto receptors in our brain, these things can affect everything from our mood to our cardiovascular system. It's why, even though some athletes might try to abuse them for a boost, the potential for addiction and some pretty dangerous side effects is exactly why they're banned by the World Anti-Doping Agency. And it goes beyond just the immediate effects. See, with regular use of substances like these, the body can become dependent. It adapts. And then, when that substance is suddenly gone, the body rebels. It's a painful process we call withdrawal, a storm of anxiety, shakiness, nausea, basically your body protesting because something it's used to is now missing. So, okay, we've met the invaders, we've met our defenders, and we've seen how we can accidentally sabotage the whole effort. So, how do we actually turn the tide in this war? Well, the most powerful strategy isn't always about fighting back. It's about being proactive. It's all about prevention. The path to victory really has three main parts. First, there's our personal shield, basic hygiene, just keeping our bodies, our food, and our water clean. Then it expands to our community fortress, public sanitation, making sure waste is handled properly. And finally, there's tactical training for our internal army, getting vaccinated. This prepares our immune system for a fight before it even happens. And this brings us right back around, full circle. Remember that incredible memory we talked about with the acquired immune system? Well, a vaccine is basically like a training drill for those elite special forces. It introduces a safe, weakened version of an enemy, which lets your body build up a defense plan and create that lasting memory, all without you ever actually having to get sick. It's genius, really. So, we've explored this incredible battlefield inside all of us. We've seen the invaders, the defenders, and just how powerful our own choices are. Which means this question isn't just theoretical anymore. You're the commander. So, what's the one choice you're going to make today to help your body win the war for your health?